NewsWaves 32.
Out of the 50 people involved in the college admissions scam, one of the names on that list is a Calabasas dentist. Good evening, I'm Araceli Crescencio.
And I'm Austin Hall. Welcome to the Thursday night edition of NewsWaves. The college admissions scandal stretches all the way to Calabasas. Homayun Zadeh, a professor of dentistry at USC from Calabasas, agreed to pay $100,000 to bribe a USC coach to help his daughter gain admission as a lacrosse recruit. His daughter does not play the sport. Zadeh is one of the dozens that have been charged with a variety of different crimes in his scandal. His indictment was conspiracy to commit mail fraud and honest services mail fraud.
A string of burglaries in Malibu and Hollywood Hills has police still searching for the culprits who got away with thousands of dollars of valuables. NewsWaves reporter Savannah Welch has the details on the rash of home break-ins. Savannah?
2 male Hispanics.
Police at the Lost Hills Sheriff's Station are still searching for suspects responsible for a recent burglary in Malibu last week. The incident happened at the 6300 block of Via Escondido Drive on March 7th. A break-in of the same nature happened in Hollywood Hills yesterday late morning. In both instances, the thieves were caught on security footage outside the homes stealing jewelry and cash. The neighborhood security guard, who asked not to be named, knows the ins and outs of Sycamore Park and loves interacting with the residents living in the area.
Hey, how are you, Gia?
He told NewsWaves 32 how sad he was to hear about the burglary.
I really feel bad that it had to happen, and that's one of the reasons that we need security around here, because those kind of things happen.
The neighborhood entrance stops at security's feet, and a guard has to give people permission to enter. The guard we spoke to said he thinks it could have been people coming in to clean up after the fire. However, the security guard says he's confident in police personnel and the systems they have in place.
They've got pictures of these guys, so I'm pretty sure that they'll be able to pick them up.
The Lost Hills Sheriff's Station advises people to secure their homes before leaving. Other advice included notifying their station of any suspicious activity.
Give us a call so we can get to that area and we can talk to these people, because they're going door to door.
Be sure to lock your doors and stay alert.
Foul play. Body found on Malibu Beach was shot to death. Homicide detectives are investigating the cause of death of 42-year-old Miguel Guardado, whose body was discovered around 4 p.m. Monday in the 25600 block of Pacific Coast Highway. Today, authorities ruled the death a homicide after an autopsy revealed Guardado had been shot in the upper body. Anyone with information on the case is urged to call the Sheriff's Homicide Bureau at 323-890-5500.
The sunny weather has everyone feeling like the winter cold may be gone for good, but the chilly, strong winds are here to stay. Kaylin Mendez joins us early with details on the wind advisory in effect. Kaylin?
Yeah, thanks, Austin. It is currently 65 degrees in Malibu. Humidity is at 26%, and winds are traveling north at 12 miles per hour. Although it's not too bad right now, you are right, Austin, there is currently a wind advisory. A high wind advisory is in effect until 1 p.m. Saturday in the Los Angeles area. Wind gusts are expected to be anywhere between 15 to 50 miles per hour. Be especially careful on the road during this time, since crosswinds can make it difficult to drive. Waves can also be choppy over these next few days due to the wind, so be careful while surfing. I'll be back in a few minutes with the 4-day forecast. Back to you at the desk.
Thank you, Kaylin. The Woolsey Fire debris removal deadline is tomorrow. However, for community members that need more time, they can apply for an extension. A tweet by the Malibu Environment Department yesterday informed residents they can call 626-979-5370 or apply in person at one of the assistance centers. Malibu's environmental director reported 49 Malibu property owners who had their houses burned down in the Woolsey fire have yet to register for fire debris removal.
Pacific Coast Highway, more like Pacific Coast parking lot. This morning they were up to 20-minute delays on Pacific Coast Highway into Santa Monica. The city was doing emergency repairs on a water line in Santa Monica. Just after West Channel, they had all but one lane closed heading into the tunnel and 10 freeway. The closure lasted until 4 p.m.
Malibu and Santa Monica parents are suing the school district, saying that the district discriminates against low-income students.
The state constitution requires that school districts provide a free public education, and the Santa Monica-Malibu School District has not been doing that for many years.
The parents say the district allegedly requires materials for class and extracurriculars. According to the plaintiff's attorney, the school district's summary judgment motion was denied Tuesday. The next court meeting for this lawsuit is scheduled June 4th. What a difference a winter of rain makes. The new report out today about California's drought.
Picture not perfect. Why social media is not a super thing for this year's super bloom.
Beaten and left to die, a Malibu animal hospital comes to the rescue of a real champion.
And daring to dream, the story of one local first-generation college student who is making a difference.
Oh, emojis! I thought the conversation just got dumber.
Ugh, internet trolls, just ignore them.
I like you just the way you are.
I believe in you! She's a hugger. Give her a squeeze.
Help up the hand.
Ah, there you go. Thanks, mate.
You're killing it, Jane!
There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread and kissed them all soundly.
Lights out.
Good night. And put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org.
Well, Thomas, you've got prediabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have prediabetes. Big time.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. How would you not love him?
It may be a super Instagram post, but Instagrammers are taking advantage of the super bloom's beauty. This spring's super bloom is visible throughout SoCal, even here in Malibu and the Santa Monica Mountains. But in Riverside County, parks are posting signs telling people not to step on the flowers and even creating barriers to prevent illegal parking. In Lake Elsinore, thousands of people have been reporting of parking along a private mile-long stretch to photograph the poppies.
After over 7 years, the drought in California is officially over. According to a tweet from the National Drought Mitigation Center at the University of Nebraska, today is the first day since December 2011 that the Golden State has been drought-free. According to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, this winter has been the wettest in United States recorded history. The administration is giving this winter's rain part responsibility for alleviating the drought. Kaylin, I'm sure you know more about this. It's been raining a lot in Malibu.
It's been raining so much. I'm glad the drought is over. Yeah, I think this is the first Thursday in a really long time that I haven't had to say something about the rain, although I think we're expecting rain next week, but that's a week from now.
Yeah, I don't think it rained one single day this week, so that was lovely. We definitely got to get some sun this week.
Yeah, and it should be fairly nice weather this weekend as well. But for now, let's take a look at our regional temperature map. So we can see that in Calabasas, it's 67 degrees, and it's 65 degrees in Thousand Oaks, Agora Hills, and Santa Monica. Today's fire conditions are high due to dry conditions, and the fire threat is expected to remain high over the next couple of days. Surf conditions are fair today with waves between 2 to 3 feet. Tomorrow's waves are expected to get no more than 2 feet. This weekend we'll see alternating cloudy and sunny days. Friday will be partly cloudy with a high of 69 and a low of 51. Saturday will be sunny with a high of 73 and a low of 52. Sunday with a high of 73 and a low of 53. And the school week will start sunny on Monday with a high of 71 and a low of 52. Back to you at the desk.
Thank you, Kaylin. An injured dog is the champion of abuse recovery. Champion was found shot and beaten by a couple on their Joshua Tree property Sunday. With the help of local residents and the Animal Authority rescue team, this dog has defied the odds. He was transported to the Malibu Coast Animal Hospital and spent 5 hours in surgery on Monday. His rescue team has named him champion in honor of his will to survive. And while we are on the topic of defying the odds, a first-generation immigrant defines his American dream as making a difference in children's lives. NewsWaves 32 reporter Rachel Ripp has more. Rachel?
The American dream is defined as a social ideal that stresses freedom and prosperity. Oxnard native Cesar Zepeda and his immigrant family define it as giving back to community and living a life full of purpose.
Cesar Zepeda is a 21-year-old living in the United States like millions of others. He's the son of immigrants, making him one of more than 44 million people that are first-generation Americans. With this identity comes a different way of life.
So like whenever my mom had to call customer service or something like that, she would hand me the phone and have me talk to them because she couldn't speak English as well as I could.
Because of his immigrant status, his relationships with his extended family have taken a toll.
I visited them 2 summers ago, and before that I hadn't seen them for I don't know, 12 years.
Cesar grew up in Oxnard, California with his mother and father and 2 sisters, Penelope and Amanda. He says he loved his childhood and growing up in a Hispanic community. His family then moved to Bakersfield when Cesar was 10, and he has fond memories there as well. He met one of his best friends, Joe Baina, on the middle school swim team.
Being friends with someone like Cesar is it's great because I see him as a lifelong friend.
Joe says he truly values Cesar's friendship.
I would say number one for Cesar is how intentional he is. He wants to hang out with you. He wants to get to know you better.
Cesar's father, also named Cesar, considers his son a compassionate, honest, disciplined, and trustworthy person.
He's my best friend.
Cesar Sr. taught his son to value his life, education, freedom, and opportunity in the United States, as it was a very different journey for his father growing up in Mexico. His father says he's proud that his son gets to live out the American dream.
When he sets his mind on something, he goes up there and achieves that goal, no matter what.
Cesar's ultimate goal is to become a family nurse practitioner. He started nursing school at Moore Park College last fall and says he's looking forward to giving back to the Hispanic population that helped him as a boy. He says he hopes to educate and reassure the Hispanic population in his future medical profession.
I walk in and it's I don't like to toot my own horn, but they walk in and I'm oh, thank God, somebody that speaks that I can talk my language with.
Cesar says he wants to set an example for others who hope to follow in his footsteps, showing them they can do it too, especially for his 2 younger sisters.
That's always something that kind of keeps me in check, okay, I have somebody else that's looking up, that's I gotta keep going, I gotta keep pushing through.
Even though he thought it was too far to reach, Cesar is paving the way for his American dream to unfold.
Cesar told me he always makes time to talk to his family, even when he's very tired or busy. He said he's grateful for everything they've done for him. Cesar says this lifestyle wouldn't be possible without his family's support. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Rachel. Thanks for sharing Cesar's inspiring story. He's just one of the many dreamers in this nation. A real unfair playing field.
The list of college sports teams hit by the admissions scandal continues to grow.
Did you survive the cause of yesterday's epic social media outage that left many down and out?
I adopted Bento in 2010 from a shelter. As it turns out, we have very similar personalities. And this cat makes me make art because he's always motivating me to take pictures of him, to draw pictures of him. He just is motivating artistically. It's just that simple. Well, he's my best friend, but a lot of people know him as Keyboard Cat.
Start a story. Adopt at theshelterpetproject.org.
We have Miles here joining us. There's a lot of things going on in the sports world right now. The first one is very local, and it involves a bunch of colleges close to us. The second one is some West Coast Conference news, and the third one is a really good story about the Special Olympics.
Correct, Austin. Yeah, so beginning with the local story, Operation Varsity Blues. The list of major college athletic programs hit by the admissions scandal is growing. So far, 9 college coaches are listed as receiving bribes to falsely admit athletes into their programs. Included in the scandal are coaches from the University of Southern California, the University of Texas, Stanford University, and UCLA. In some instances, students' faces were photoshopped onto the bodies of the actual athletes in admissions photos. No students are charged in the initial report, but future discipline is possible.
Well, this is a story that just keeps getting more and more talked about. The scandal keeps growing, but USC is just in our own backyard, so it's not too far removed from Pepperdine. I know many of our students also apply there when thinking about Pepperdine.
Yeah,
so
and add this to the laundry list of things that really not very good things that have happened to USC over the past 2 years. Remember, they're still without a university president. They just had to fork over $50 million in a lawsuit, and it looks like their athletic director will get fired because of this.
And the coach that got fired was considered to be the coach of the century in water polo, so that's a big blow to the water polo program.
It seems like they can't go without a scandal every 15 minutes. So
absolutely.
I wonder if this affects the ranking at all or anything.
Definitely.
Well, Austin, we also have an upset alert as St. Mary's shocks #1 ranked Gonzaga in the WCC championships.
Eye test. Crandall all over Ford. Crandall shoots the 3. And that's how you talk about upsets happening.
Gonzaga defeated Pepperdine in the WCC semifinals 100-74 on Monday to advance to the championship round. With the win, St. Mary's clinches a spot in the March Madness tournament as the WCC champions. This is the first time since 2012 Gonzaga has failed to win the WCC. Previously viewed as a lock to be the #1 seed in the March Madness tournament, Gonzaga's loss puts their seeding placement in question. Tournament play begins next Tuesday on March 18th.
I can't say I'm not happy that they were lost, especially after they beat Pepperdine.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Do you think that this is going to affect their ranking at all? Or
it's definitely possible. They lost to not even a ranked team. St. Mary's wasn't even top 25, so it definitely is possible that they might drop a seed or two.
Yeah.
So when we had dreams and hopes that Pepperdine was going to beat Gonzaga, was this available? Was this something we could actually think?
You know, there's always the possibility of an upset story, Cinderella team, but it just wasn't Pepperdine's year in that case.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Special Olympics athletes take their special talents around the world. The World Games in Abu Dhabi kicked off today and will take place until March 21st. More than 7,000 athletes from over 50 countries will compete in 24 different summer sporting events. This is the first time the Games have ever been held in the Middle East since the foundation of the organization over 50 years ago. Some of tomorrow's events will include volleyball, basketball, swimming, football, and roller skating.
A lot of interesting stuff going on with the Special Olympics. That'll be really, really fun to watch.
Yeah, especially the first time in the Middle East, not a bad place to be at, a really beautiful location there.
Should be a great time for all the Special Olympic athletes.
Awesome. Thank you, Miles.
Thank you, guys.
Get ready to feel the rush at St. Patrick's Day Gold Hunt. The Malibu City Library and Community Services Department are hosting 2 gold hunts at Malibu Bluffs Park tomorrow. At either 10:15 or 11 a.m., you can go on a gold hunt with Lucky the Leprechaun to find his pot of gold. There will also be a story time session and an art activity. Cheryl Leff will be performing live music and snacks will be provided. One of Pepperdine's oldest traditions is hitting the stage tonight. Josie?
Thank you. I'm here live in Smothers Theater, where in just a few hours, tonight students from across the Pepperdine community will be coming together through song and dance.
Joining the team as the new trailer is released, the Avengers Endgame trailer has been dropped.
Stirred it, drowned it again, and now just feel if it's cold.
Yeah.
Cool.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
I know. I already posted it.
Leaving hot coals improperly extinguished can cause a wildfire.
Hey guys, it's Smokey!
It looks as if Smokey is going to use the drown, stir, drown and feel technique. After the first drown, a good stir. Next, another drink. And finally, a close feel.
Is it cool? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Smokey, catch! Oh, my bad, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Get ready to go on a musical road trip as Songfest takes the stage at Pepperdine.
The annual musical competition runs through Saturday. NewsWaves 32 reporter Josie Leonetti joins us live from Smothers Theater at the university with a preview. Josie?
So like I said, there is both a show tonight and tomorrow night, both at 7:30 p.m., and 2 shows on Saturday, one at 2 p.m. and the next at 7:30 p.m. Tickets are $10 for Pepperdine students, $15 for Pepperdine faculty, and $20 for adults. Now, there is still time to buy tickets, and you can buy tickets here in the box office at Smothers or online. That's all for me. Back to you guys at the desk.
Late night practices filled with laughs, sweat, and tears. Mainly happy ones, though. That's what hundreds of Pepperdine students and faculty have undergone in preparation for the highly anticipated Songfest. With one performance already completed, participants are continuing to prepare for the rest of the performances, with one show tonight, another Friday, and the final 2 shows on Saturday. Songfest is a long-time Pepperdine tradition in which groups of students compete in a 12-minute-long show that features singing, dancing, costumes, and a completely original script centered around a theme.
So this is actually our 47th year of Songfest, really long tradition. Each year, students are just encouraged to participate, make friends, and yeah, it's just grown, and yeah.
We spoke with Rachel Higgins, one of the hosts for this year's show.
So the student groups only get 2 weeks to prepare from the hours of 10 to midnight, but the hosts, our auditions were in October, and we had some workshops where we kind of planned what we wanted to do, and then rehearsals started second semester with music and choreo, and it kind of progressed as the show got closer. So
The theme for this year's performance is California Calling.
Kind of just celebrating everything California as a state has to offer, culture, history, really anything.
According to the box office, Wednesday night's show was half full, and half the tickets have already been sold for the remaining performances. The box office hopes to sell another 300 tickets for the shows currently half full. At the conclusion of the final performance, the student group with the highest accumulated scores is presented the Songfest Sweepstakes Award. To anyone on the fence about coming to the show or not, Rachel had this to say.
I would say get off the fence, just do it, you won't regret it, I'll make it worth your while.
So from talking to Rachel, it should be a great show tonight and the following nights. They put a lot of work in, practicing for hours on end, and tickets are still available, like I said, here in the box office or online. So if you haven't seen the show yet, you should definitely make sure to come down here and get a ticket. That's all for me. Back to you guys at the desk.
We now know the cause of the outage that shut down social media. Facebook and its various platforms, including Instagram and WhatsApp, went down yesterday for over 14 hours. Funny enough, Facebook used Twitter to let users know the technical difficulties were not caused by a hack. Today, Facebook's blamed server configurations changes for the network's longest outage ever and said things were returning to normal. So I don't know if you guys saw, but everybody seemed to be on Twitter yesterday.
Yes.
Because
I didn't even know what was going
on.
I was mostly preparing for Songfest and studying for everything I've got, but my friends were texting me. They're like, was Instagram working for you? And I'm like, why are you on Instagram? You have a test tomorrow.
No, I was always checking Facebook. I had to send a couple of messages, and they weren't sending, and I was like, what is going on? And
what about you, Austin?
Yeah, I found myself refreshing a couple dozen times, hoping it would work, but kind of a long day yesterday.
Yeah, but it seemed everybody was on Twitter. My friends were always tweeting, and some of the funniest tweets came out yesterday after Facebook's outage. The hashtag Facebook down was trending for a very long time.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you guys heard about
I saw different memes on Instagram. It was talking about when Instagram is finally back up again.
But we have a new movie trailer. Tell us more.
Oh, well, first, before we get to the Avengers, we've got Kevin Hart. And Jussie Smollett is also a big news we've got going on. The Empire star is maintaining his innocence after an alleged hate crime and allegedly fake police reports. Jussie Smollett's lawyers pled not guilty on his behalf today. He is charged with 16 felony counts, including disorderly conduct and lying to police. If convicted, Smollett could face up to 3 years in prison for each separate charge. His next court date is scheduled for April 17. And many say laughter is the best medicine, but Kevin Hart is staying healthy with more than just his comedy.
And in lane 3, we have the California State Champion, D. Stand behind your block.
Wait a minute. Deanna Nowling, a senior at Calabasas High School, ran against Kevin Hart and actor James Vanderbeek, famous for his role in Dawson's Creek. She blew them out of the water, speeding past when the shot went out. The Calabasas track star will run for University of Miami come fall.
Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes.
New suits, same actors, whatever it takes. The trailer for Avengers Endgame is out and powerful. With Captain Marvel released last Friday, many fans are excited to see her in the trailer for the newest movie in the Marvel story arc. The trailer emphasizes that the main drive is whatever it takes. The movie hits theaters April 26.
Wow, that trailer looked very dramatic.
Yes, I'm very excited to see it. After graduation, classes are over, perfect thing.
Well, thank you so much, Carly.
Thank you.
If you've been using Pie Day as an excuse just to eat pie, you're slacking. Emma Haruka Iowa is a cloud developer advocate at Google. She calculated pi to over 31 trillion digits, smashing the previous record of 21 set in 2016. The record took 121 days to reach, but NASA will struggle to find use for it as they only use 15 pi digits when programming their rockets that go into space.
Thank you so much. That will do it for tonight. Good night.